All right, before we continue on, just so you know, again, tomorrow, maybe I'll just tomorrow hand out whatever your pretest is. All right, and Friday. Now I know that a lot of you don't come on days when I'm not here or I'm leaving early or whatever, but two or three of you are at 3 or 4 absences right now. And if you're at 3 absences and you miss Friday, that puts you at 4. That means that you've got to sign the form for me, and that starts the whole process because then you've got only 2 more, and then they're going to try to kick you out. All right, I'm just telling you that. So my hope is, because what were there out of the 9 of you when I missed when I was sick, 5 of you missed. All right, so there were more not here than there were here. Now, some of you had very valid reasons. Some of you might have just said, screw it, I'm not coming in, it's 3-day weekend. All right, you might consider that to be a very valid reason. I don't know. All right. What I plan on doing is next week, Tuesday, remember we don't meet Monday, so Tuesday you'll have your first hands-on. All right. Then the rest of the week and the following week, we're going to cover chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right? And that'll mean that next Monday will be the last Monday before we have our break. All right? So for that, that week, by the time we break, we're going to be at least done through the first 9 chapters. All right? Then after the break, we'll probably do that thing just so you get introduced to databases, that task list. But we're going to go through that pretty quickly. Like probably we're going to go through 3 chapters in a week, 10, 11, and 12. All right? I don't know if I'll test you on that. I have no idea. Then we're jumping into Kotlin. We're going to write 2 or 3 of the apps that we've already done and maybe a new one in Kotlin, and then I'm turning you loose. And again, I'm hoping that's going to be somewhere around April 1st. Because I think, I figured the 3rd is a month. Is it 3rd Monday? I think it was. I checked this the other day. The 2nd of April. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if it's by the 9th, if it's the 9th, you'll have the week of the 9th, 16th, 23rd, 30th, and 7th. You'll have half that week. So that'd give you 4.5 weeks. I'm going to try so that by the end of March, we're done with this book and we're done with Kotlin. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that or not. You might be that good. I don't know if I am. Just so you know, too, again, you'll have a test Tuesday. It won't be rock, paper, scissors. How do I know that? Because we're going to do rock, paper, scissors when we get into talking about graphics. That's when we'll do that one. So it won't be that. I don't know, again, what it'll be. I'll think of something. All right? So I'm going to put in the rest of the code. So far, I've added all of my variables. So now I'm going to make my checks here. If height text dot get text dot equals the empty string, I'm going to set the height to the default height. Now, just let me put all this in and then I'll go back and explain what I did. If I can have your attention for a second, please remember, and I'm giving people time to just type this in, but when you get done, go back to your XML and go to your calculate, find your on click, and you're going to have to set that to calculate the BMI, because if you don't, because I just didn't, and I'm like, why doesn't that work? That's why. All right, you've got to do that association. So. Can you see this up here? This should say, I think I've got it saying optimal weight, but I didn't. Again, it's not big enough to hold that. All right, so I could either make it smaller or do something else. That's not terrible, though, the way that it is. That's not right. We'll start back up again in about 5 or 10 minutes, all right? I'm running out of space on the machine, so I'm trying to move some stuff around. Yours work? Yours work? Mine, mine doesn't either. Mine is giving the same answer for everything I'm putting in.
I think it's because when you compare the height to the max, the height hasn't been set, so it's still zero.
Oh, you know what? That you very well.
And that's for both height and weight. Because you check to see if the edit text is
Right.
blank, and if that happens, then it sets the height as default. But then you just compare the height, which hasn't been set to anything, against the max.
Yeah. So probably what I should do is um, flip around, do this, say else this, and then say if it's out of range, then set it. See what I'm saying? So I could do this like that, else set that, and then inside of there, put in this.
Yeah.
Like that. And I'm going to just grab that whole thing. Bring that in here. Oh, it's going to give me an error here. So,
Yeah. Well, that is, it's not working bad. Now it does.
did you put in the same change that I said?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't catch that, but I ran it and I tried and I got an underweight, I got an overweight, I got an optimal weight. So I don't know. But you're right, what you said makes total sense, but I don't know why it would have worked before.
Um, so like tomorrow, there will be another session in the video. There's the
Come on, thank you. Okay, let's try again. right, there's an error in my code. So this is I believe this is correct. As soon as I can run that, double check it. But we'll go over what the error was. Take a look at the whole thing in just a second. All right. So it's right up above where you figure out the BMI. And Evan was wise enough to find the actual error. That's part of your materials. So let's see now if it works. Underweight, that's correct. Optimal, that's correct. And overweight, so they all work. All right, now, if you look up on the screen here, let's talk about what the error was. All right, you've got the original text, but what this said originally, if you look up on the screen here, this said if it was equal to nothing, set it to the default, which was fine. But then immediately I did this check for the upper and lower. It wasn't set yet. It was 0. So it was always going to set it to the default no matter what you did for the height and the weight. But what I did was I said, okay, if it hits this else, there has to be a number in there. So set the height, then check it right inside of the else. It's cleaner code anyway, to be honest with you. All right. So you should have all of it. Hopefully everybody got a chance to get it to work. All right. Tomorrow what I'll do is I'm going to give you basically a piece of paper. It's going to have maybe 5, maybe 10 things on it and say, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. All right. And I will give you at least an hour or 2 to work on it. Then I will go over how I did that. Now, please, one last thing, if you would, please look up on the screen here. There are ways that this program could be made a lot better, such as, well, I'm going to go back and clear, all right? Now I'm going to press calculate. Uh-oh. So there's something that it doesn't like in there, all right? One thing is what we could have done, didn't do, but could have done, is if you put in a number that was too high, rather than having a default, we could have put in here value out of range, or we could have put in here no input for here and here. That might have been a cleaner way to do it. All right? Yes?
I think it might be because we're not setting the height and things back to 0.
That very well could be. Yes, that very well could be. Yeah. That's another thing. You know, like you said, it probably would be a good idea, but if we're going to be resetting the height and weight back to 0, then probably these 3 variables right here, they probably shouldn't be local. They probably should be global so that when we come down and in here, we can set all those back to 0.
The problem why it crashes when you try and calculate with nothing in the text boxes is in your output string.
Yeah.
You try to get the text out of those text boxes.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing in there.
Yeah. If you just do
Yeah, I should have just said height here, not just, or whatever. But part of the problem with doing that is, notice if I do this.
You don't have to have 2 screens there.
Yeah, I know, but technically you should have to. All right. That would have been cleaner. So those are just some things. All right. And every time I go and create something and I start looking, geez, I probably could have done this. I probably could have done this. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do tomorrow in addition to modularizing this. All right, writing a different method. So in other words, this should be in its own method. All right. The height check should be in their own method. The weight check should be in their own method. Why? Because that's a cleaner way to write code. You already know that. All right. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do tomorrow. All right. And when we get done, I'm not going to run off anymore because chances are I'll screw mine up anyway. So what I'll do is tomorrow I will put mine up there, and then you can see how close yours is to mine. All right. And it may turn out yours is better, and that's okay. But that should do nothing but prepare you. So you've got the PDF, and I would suggest, even if it's Monday, I know it's your break, but even if it's Monday night or Tuesday morning, that you at least flip through that so that you're ready to take a hands-on test when you come in here on Tuesday. All right? Then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're just going to keep zipping through. We're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're not going to do 5 chapters in 3 days. I'm not that good. But we're going to do a chapter, and I'll go back and reread those chapters myself, but we're going to do another program, and it'll be a more complex program. I believe we'll bring images, and we'll do some other stuff in there. All right? Questions? Everybody understands then what, again, tomorrow when you come in here, I will give you, some kind of a pretest. Friday then when you come in here, what I will do is I will say for sure, this is what we're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I might have some stuff for you to take a look at then.
My computer isn't compatible for an emulator, so I can't run anything.
Well, then we'll have to like I said, the plan is next week to bring in the tablets.
We'll have the tablet
Now,
for the first hands-on test, so we can put it in the test.
yeah, I can bring the tablets in for the test. If you want to use them, you'll be able to. I don't care. Again, one of you lucky people, or unlucky, depending on your point of view, will have to use my machine. Because when Evan and Ethan went and set those all up, Evan found out that on one machine, it basically the screen doesn't show much of anything. All right, I told Charles, he tried to reset it, didn't really do too much. They only had a 90-day warranty. The 90 days is up.